Ever just stand there staring into the fridge, not really starving, but needing something, anyone.
Oh, yeah. The fridge light is like a beacon of hope at the end of a long day, right?
Totally. And it gets you thinking, like, food, it's about way more than just, eating. It's
Yeah.
tied into everything. Our good memories, celebrations, even breakups. And that's what we're digging into today.
Digging in, I like that.
Right. So we're calling this deep dive Eating Relationships, How We Connect with Food, and how that kind of mirrors how we connect with everything else.
It's fascinating, really. Like, food is this whole secret language we've got going on.
Okay, love that. A secret food language. Can you elaborate on that a little?
Well, just think about it. How we interact with food, our little habits, the stuff we crave it,
Hmm.
can actually tell us a lot about what's going on in our own heads.
Really?
Yeah, and not just in our own heads, but also how we interact with others. It's like a two-way mirror, food. It reflects our emotions, how we were raised, anxieties, the whole shebang.
Okay, that's really interesting. It's not just about what we're putting in our mouths, but like all the whys behind it. Like for me, whenever I'm feeling down, I just crave my grandma's chicken noodle soup.
There you go.
It's not even really about the soup. It just brings you back to like feeling safe and cared for as a kid.
Exactly. And that right there, those early food memories, so powerful. I was reading this article, and there's a study about it, believe it or not. People who had regular family meals growing up, they usually feel a stronger sense of connection as adults, even if what they eat now is totally different.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. So like even those little traditions, they stick with us.
Absolutely. And they often connect to bigger cultural things, too. You know, how different cultures have those rituals around food. It could be the spices they use, how it's served, even just the rules about eating together.
Oh, totally. Remember when we were talking about that article on cultural influences on our food preferences?
Yeah, it's a great example of how our culture shapes not only what we eat, but our whole experience around food.
So true. And then on top of cultural influences, you've got the whole modern world thrown into the mix. We're practically drowning in pictures of perfect meals, all this conflicting diet advice. It's a lot.
It's overwhelming,
Mm.
for sure. It makes you wonder how anybody develops a healthy relationship with food these days.
Right. It's
Uh,
like you see these gorgeous healthy meals on social media, but then there's that pressure to make your own food look Instagrammable?
oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a real concern. And it ties into what a lot of experts are calling food anxieties.
Mm.
I read this other study about how seeing those super styled food photos can mess with your body image, especially for young people.
It's a good reminder to like really pay attention to what we're taking in both literally and what we're feeding our minds, right? But then that begs the question, how do we even start to build a healthier plate and a healthier mind in this crazy food landscape?
Mindfulness, my friend. Being present while you eat can make a big difference. Just slow down, savor each bite. Actually, tune in to when you feel full.
So like mindful munching. I love it. What else?
Don't be afraid to get adventurous in the kitchen. Trying new dishes, experimenting with different flavors, it can challenge those deep-seated ideas we have about food.
Variety is the spice of life, right? So
Okay,
it sounds like what you're saying is we've got to ditch those strict food rules and like learn to trust our gut, literally.
exactly. Our bodies are pretty smart. We just have to listen. You know, what I find super interesting about all of this is that our own individual relationships with food, they're like these tiny snapshots of bigger trends and what we're all stressing about.
It's like food is this common thread that connects us all, right? Our pasts, our cultures, even our dreams, and what we worry about is all reflected in what we choose to eat.
100%.
Well, that was an amazing deep dive into eating relationships. Thanks for breaking it all down for us.
Anytime.
And to our listeners, bon appetit. Here's a little something to think about. If your eating habits are a reflection of you, what's your plate saying? Something to chew on.